Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Nosipa Maseko, and I'm the girl that reads the Bible. So today we're going to start where we left off. Last time we wrapped up with Jasher chapter 3. So today we're gonna start with Jasher chapter 4, simply because chapter 4 of Jasher is the continuation of the life of Enoch, and we're not gonna go to Genesis as yet. For chapter 4 is like concluding the rest of the life of Enoch, or the events that happened after Enoch ascended into heaven. Okay, and let's read Jasher chapter 4. And all the days of Enoch that and all the days that Enoch lived upon earth were 365 years. And when Enoch had ascended into heaven, all the kings of the earth rose and took Methuselah his son and anointed him, and they caused him to reign over them in the place of his father. And Methuselah acted uprightly in the sight of God, and his father Enoch as his father Enoch had taught him. And he likewise during the whole of his life taught the sons of men wisdom, knowledge, and the fear of God. And he did not turn from the good way either to the right or to the left. But in the latter days of Methuselah, the sons of men turned from the Lord, and they corrupted the earth. They robbed and they plundered each other, and they rebelled against God, and they transgressed, and they corrupted their ways, and would not hearken to the voice of Methuselah, but rebelled against him. And the Lord was exceedingly wroth against them, and the Lord continued to destroy the seed in those days, so that there was neither sowing nor reaping in the earth. For when they sowed the ground in order that they might obtain food, for their support, behold, thorns and thistles were produced, which they did not sow. And still the sons of men did not turn from their evil ways, and their hands were still extended to do evil in the sight of God, and they provoked the Lord to excuse me. Where was I? And they provoked the Lord with their evil ways, and the Lord was very wroth, and he repented that he had made man, and he thought to destroy and annihilate them, and he did so. In those days, when Lamech, the son of Methuselah, was 160 years old, Seth, son of Adam, died. And all the days that Seth lived were 912 years, and he died. And Lamech was 180 years old when he took Ashumua, the daughter of Elisha, the son of Enoch, his uncle, and she conceived. And at that time the sons of men sowed the ground, and a little food was produced. Yet the sons of men did not turn from their evil ways, and they trespassed and rebelled against God. So essentially what it says here is that after Enoch had ascended into heaven, the kings, the people that were in charge, those that had asked Enoch to reign over them, they asked the son of Enoch, whose name is Methuselah, to reign over them. And indeed Methuselah did reign over them, and because Methuselah walked in the ways of his father Enoch, he did act uprightly in the sight of God, and did all that his father Enoch had taught. Therefore he also taught the good ways of God, teaching the sons of men wisdom and knowledge and the fear of God. And he did not do anything wrong. He did not turn, it says here, he did not turn from the good way either to the left or to the right. So he kept at his father's teachings, and he kept at the good ways of God. But then it says that after some time, during Methuselah's reign, the sons of men started to turn away from the Lord. It says that they corrupted the earth, so they robbed each other and they plundered each other. They took advantage of each other. They scammed each other, and they rebelled against God by doing this. And they would not listen to Methuselah when Methuselah would tell them how to do things. So the Lord was very angry with them, and because the earth was already cursed, the Lord continued in those days to destroy the seed, meaning that they would sow but not reap. Instead, when they sow, it says here that thistles and thorns would be produced, and they did not sow thistles and thorns. So it says here that the sons of men did not change their minds, they did not change their ways, meaning that, when things like this happen, for example, if nature starts reacting, in a way that we're not used to, we as human beings should know that that is judgment. And judgment usually comes against unrepentant sin, right? So if we sin and sin and sin and sin and do not repent, then judgment will come, and we will see it by nature. So if you put your seed in the ground, that it will yield a decent vegetable or a decent fruit, and then in the latter days you see that I'm planting in the same ground, I'm planting in the same way, but I'm now yielding thorns and thistles, and my yield is smaller, then you must know that it's judgment. Therefore, you must examine your life, examine yourself, and examine your whole area. Examine the whole area, and people should repent as a group, as a nation, as towns, as cities, but as families, but also as individuals, so that the Lord can have mercy on us and then forgive us and then restore us, so that we can continue to also plant and sow decently like we used to before. But if you do not repent, then it means that you will continue in those judgments until the Lord is so angry that he judges let's say the seed thing is the warning judgment, that he judges like solely and completely, like the biggest judgment, like the one we're going to see happening. Because the people in those days, they saw that there's something wrong with the soil, but they did not repent from their evil ways. So the Lord said, I will annihilate them. And it says here that so he did annihilate them. So it also says here that Lamech, the son of Methuselah, when he was 160 years old, Seth, the son of Adam, died. So Seth, the son of Adam, who came in place of Abel, who was killed by Cain, he died then. And then it says that Lamech in those days took the daughter of Elisha, who is the son of Enoch. So essentially he took his cousin as a wife, because Enoch is his grandfather, right? And then Elisha and Lamech are siblings, and Elisha and Methuselah are siblings, and Lamech's father is Methuselah. So yeah, took a cousin as a wife. And then it says here that Ashmua, which is the cousin who was taken as a wife, conceived, and yet still man saw that when they sowed, there was not enough coming forth, not enough being reproduced, but they did not turn away from their evil ways, and they transgressed and they rebelled against God. So now I'm going to go to the book of Genesis. Okay, in the book of Genesis, I am at Genesis chapter 5, verse 28. So it says here, Lamech lived 182 years and had a son, and he called his name Noah, saying, this one will comfort us concerning our work and the toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord has cursed. After he begot Noah, Lamech lived 595 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. So Lamech, like it says in the book of Jasher, took a wife, and then they begot Noah. It says he named him Noah because he believed that Noah would comfort them concerning the work and the toil of their hands, because, excuse me please, because the ground was cursed. And essentially, like, there are people in a generation or in an era that understand the things of God. So Lamech understood that the ground was cursed, and Lamech understood that it's because of sin. So when Noah was born, he knew that this one is going to be the one who's going to somehow help us with the curse that we have at hand, right? Because it says here that he named him because of that. So yeah, so I read up to verse 31. So I'm gonna go back to the book of Jasher, because the book of Jasher, it does explain stuff into details. Okay, now I'm back to the book of Jasher. I'm still in chapter 4, but I'm gonna start at verse 13. And the woman of Lamech conceived and bore him a son at that time, at the revolution of the year. And Methuselah called his name Noah, saying the earth was in his days at rest and free from corruption. And Lamech his father called his name Menachem, saying, this one shall comfort us in our works and miserable toil in the earth, which God had cursed. And the children grew up, and the child grew up and was weaned, and he went into the ways of his father Methuselah, perfect and upright with God. I just want to check something quickly. Just give me a second. Okay. And all the sons of men departed from the ways of the Lord in those days, as they multiplied upon the face of the earth with sons and daughters. And they taught one another their evil practices, and they continued sinning against the Lord. And every man made unto himself a god, and they robbed and plundered every man his neighbor, as well as his relative, and they corrupted the earth, and the earth was filled with violence. And their judges, okay, let me stop here and just explain. So it says here that Lamech conceived, like it says in Genesis, Lamech conceived and bore him a son, and the son's name was Noah. But Noah in this instance was named by Methuselah, which is Noah's grandfather, which is the father of Lamech. And Lamech called his son Menachem. Noah, meaning that the earth was in the days at rest and free from corruption, and Menachem, meaning that this one shall comfort us in works and miserable toil in the earth, which God cursed. So it says that Noah grew in the ways of God, and it says that he grew in the ways of Methuselah, which is his grandfather and not his father. And Methuselah taught him the perfect and upright will of God. It says here that the sons of men, which are human beings, they still rebelled against God, and they were multiplying. And while they were multiplying, they were wicked. So wickedness was also multiplying, because the children of God, the sons of men were multiplying, meaning humanity was multiplying. And they taught one another their evil practices, and they continued to sin against God, and they made for themselves small gods that they worshipped, and they also corrupted the earth, and they filled the earth with violence, meaning they scammed one another, they robbed one another, and all these things. And so yeah, I'm going to continue from verse 18 now. And their judges and rulers went to the daughters of men and took their women by force from their men according to their choice. And the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth, the beasts of the field, and the fowls of the air, and taught the mixture of animals of one species with the other, in order therewith to provoke the Lord. And God saw the whole earth, and it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted its ways upon the earth, and on earth all men and all animals. And the Lord said, I will blot out man that I created from the face of the earth, yea, from man to birds of the air, together with cattle and beasts that are in the field, for I repent that I made them. And all men who walked in the ways of the Lord died in those days before the Lord brought the evil upon man which he had declared. For this was from the Lord, that they should not see evil which the Lord spoke of concerning the sons of men. And Noah found grace in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord chose him and his children to raise up seed from them upon the face of the whole earth. So it says here that their rulers and their judges went into the daughters of men and took women by force from their men according to their choice. So it means that the angels, the sons of God, the angels, are the rulers and the judges. They went on earth and they took for themselves wives by force. So they went to the sons of men and they took their wives by force. And it also says that the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth. So now that the angels took, Lord have mercy, the angels took the women, human being women. So the angels took the human being women as wives. So now the sons of men, they were now taking cattle of the earth and beasts of the field and the fowls of the air as wives. So that was the biggest abomination that made the Lord very angry, because in Genesis, when we started, you heard that when God was making the animals, the birds, he made them 2 by 2, male and female, so that like can mate with like and then produce like. So a type of bird will mate with a type of bird and then it will produce a bird. So in this instance, an angel is not meant to get married. An angel is supposed to be guarding and girding and looking and watching upon human beings. So because the angels saw that human beings are able to get married, and when they reproduce they need to be intimate, they got intrigued by this. And it is not for them as angels, because also you must remember, angels are immortal. Angels don't die. So it is not for them to reproduce. God creates angels and he gives them the purpose that they should do, and they should do it, and that's it. So for us, God created us so that we can multiply and replenish the earth and subdue the earth and fill the earth with human beings and have authority and dominion. But it was not for an angel to do that. So these angels rebelled against God, and they went and took human beings as wives. And that is the biggest abomination, because it's not like and like. It's two unlike things coming together intimately to produce, and that made God super angry. And then now that the angels did this, the world became so corrupt that there was no, there were no boundaries anymore. So now even men took beasts for wives. Lord have mercy. It's not funny, okay? So they took beasts. So when you think of this mystical history of like Greek gods and Egyptian gods, and when you look at the cartoons that we used to watch growing up, also when you look at the movies, you'll find that there is a half man, half horse, there is a half man, half eagle, or whatever bird, or a half man, half dog, or wolf, or whatever. Those things actually existed, okay? We were just programmed to think that they are creativity. Someone just thought of them and put them as entertainment. But you must know that the devil, in order to do anything on this earth, he has to tell the one who has authority what he's doing. So he has to tell humanity what he's doing. But because if he tells humanity straight up, humanity is going to be like, we're not going to allow that. That's crazy. And because humanity has dominion, then he can't do anything. But if he tells humanity indirectly and passes it off as entertainment, as mystical, as like fiction and stuff like that, then he did tell humanity, just that humanity did not take him seriously. So he continues to do these things. So now that the earth was the way that the Lord did not want or plan it to be, he was very, very angry. Okay? I forgot where I was, so I'm just going to start from, or I'm just going to repeat some stuff. Okay. And their judges and their rulers went to the daughters and men and took their wives by force from their men according to their choice. And the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth, the beasts of the field, and the fowls of the air, and taught the mixture of animals, one of one species to the other, in order therewith to provoke the Lord. And God saw that the whole earth, and it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted its ways upon the earth, all men and all animals. Then the Lord said, I will blot out man, that I created from the face of the earth, yea, from man to the birds of the air, together with cattle and beasts that are in the field, for I repent that I made them. So the Lord regretted ever creating man, which is so sad. It's so unfortunate. And all men who walked in the ways of the Lord in those days died before the Lord brought the evil upon men, which he declared, for this was from the Lord, that they should not see the evil which the Lord spoke of concerning the sons of men. And Noah found grace in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord chose him and his children to raise up seed from them upon the face of the whole earth. I believe that I've read all of that. So that means I've read the whole of chapter 4. So essentially the Lord regretted making man because we were just out of bounds. We were just corrupt. We were just like, when you say, let me not use my language, but we were just so like deep in wickedness and evil, and to a point where the Lord was just like, I regret making man, and I will definitely remove this abomination, this mess that is happening on the earth. I will remove it all. But he did preserve for himself Noah, because Noah found grace in the sight of God. Why? Noah worked in the ways of God. So walking in the ways of God, you will know that you're not supposed to intermingle with any animal. You're not supposed to intermingle with any angel. Noah found a human wife, and Noah knew that I must never ever even try to be intimate or take a wife from either the angels or the animals. That is an abomination. So because he had chosen that, he remained pure in his generations, and also he knew the ways of the Lord and impressed the Lord. So the Lord chose him so that he can raise seed from him upon the face of the whole earth. So that is Jasher chapter 4, and it is done. So I'm now gonna go to wait. It's the end of the video. Yeah, it's the end of the video. So that is chapter 4, Joshua chapter 4, and it's done. And in Genesis, I read from Genesis chapter 5, verse 28 to 31, and that is it. That is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. In the description box, there are 2 links. One is for my backup Brighteon channel, and the other is for the Apocrypha, which is sold on Amazon. It contains these books, including Jasher, Enoch, and all of these other books that are not included in a traditional Bible, that I believe that all believers, Christians, even if you're not Christian, need to read so that they can understand in depth what happened and how God functions. So yeah, I just want to read something quickly, because I'm used to saying it, but I'm not saying the whole thing because I don't know it off by heart. So this is what I want to say. Numbers chapter 6, verse 24 to 26. May the Lord bless you, and may the Lord keep you, and may the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you, and may the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Having said that, that is the end of the video. Until the next video, goodbye.